So welcome to everyone. We're both delighted to welcome you here. So, and welcome friends and colleagues from Brussels and much further afield. We have people from everywhere here tonight, and some who've come specially. I know many of you have come especially for this 50th anniversary, and I hope you'll agree that we have chosen an absolutely magnificent venue this year. It's a special venue here at the Palais des Colonies, and we're delighted to be here. It's already proving to be a wonderful night. Some people have just told me, wow, this is just a great evening. I said, well, we haven't even started yet. Then, as I mentioned already, we are extremely honoured to have with us today, as mentioned, Ginni Rometty, Chairwoman, CEO and President of IBM. Thanks again, Ginni, for coming over especially, and we look forward to hearing your remarks. President Van Rompuy will be joining us. He's coming in directly off a flight together with his wife, so he'll be coming a little bit later in the programme, but will be here with us. I would like, finally, just to thank, most important announcement is to thank our sponsors for this evening, without whom none of this would be been possible. Our gold sponsors, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, IBM, all right, SAS, our silver sponsors, 3M, AbbVie, Caterpillar, Cognizant, Eli Lilly and United Technologies Corporation, and our bronze sponsors, ExxonMobil, GE, Mars, Oracle, Pfizer and UPS. Thank you very much. And with no further ado, and please do eat, I would like to hand you over to Hendrik for some welcoming remarks. Thank you very much, everybody.
We have come a long way from very modest origins and humble beginnings to this vibrant, action-oriented association that I have the privilege of currently presiding. And I think you will agree with me when I say that AmCham EU is today the reference organization that champions and promotes a EU policy agenda for trade, competitiveness and investment. And as you know, we do this by our long-term commitment and unwavering support to the European project. This is the 50th anniversary. It's in one way also your anniversary. And let me tell you, some of you look remarkably well for 50. And for those of you who don't look well for 50, you know, today's 50 is the new 40, so congratulations. We have come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. And so rest assured, we are going to continue to defend the achievements of the single market. We are going to continue to advocate in favor of deepening and widening the single market. We are going to continue to push to solidify the transatlantic marketplace. And we will do this not out of political idealism, but because we know that these achievements hold the promise of making our companies more competitive. They hold the promise of economic growth and employment, and of greater prosperity for companies and 500 EU citizens alike. With that, I just wanted to say that 2013 has also been a tremendous, exceptional vintage year for the Transatlantic Partnership, the launch of the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership Agreement negotiations. And we'll have to overcome obstacles, expected and unexpected obstacles, to bring this to a good end. It is important in this respect that governments quickly resolve all issues of confidence, transparency, and clarity that can affect the transatlantic partnership. And as you know, age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Enjoy the rest of the meeting. Thank you very much for your attention.
The important thing about this organization is actually the heritage. The heritage of what we built up over the years, the people that we have, and the model that we have. It's the staff and members that work together all that time. We have a huge bond, actually, which you may have even noticed this evening, between staff and members and the people who've worked throughout the history of AmCham EU. One example, and if you look in your program, you'll see a little list of the former directors and managers and the former chairs who are here tonight, and you'll see, and maybe you've noticed, that there's one person in this room who was the first manager of a very small EU committee back in the 1980s, who kicked it off, and he's now the vice chair of the board. Carl Cox is in the room tonight. So this shows you the bond that we have and the heritage that we've created over the years, and we're very proud of that. Everything is about the people. The qualities the people have, what they do, and how they work. That's what makes AmCham EU. Another thing is fresh blood. We change. We do change blood, we change staff, we change members. We have chairs that change and member leadership that changes, so our ideas change all the time. And we work with others. We're a partnership. I work with Hendrik. Hendrik's my partner. That's how it works to achieve success. Every single one is crucial to the success. And also important is that we have a great amount of fun doing it, I can tell you. Finally, embracing change. We're constantly looking at what we do, but we don't constantly change it. We keep what's good. And we change what needs changing. And if it's good, we keep it. A former chair, who's also in this room, right at the other end of the room now, said, when we had some change, change is good. And I've always remembered that. But the future's important, so we look at what we need to change and what we plan for the future. This approach, I believe, has stood us in very good stead for the last 50 years. And I haven't been here for all those 50 years, just the last 17, been on this earth longer than that. But I believe if we continue this way, then we can do it for a good 50 more. I'm proud to be part of this wonderful organization. Maybe that's why I've stayed here so long. I was proud to launch the first website, a new publication, proud when we became independent in 2003 and to lead the rebrand, proud to be part of tonight's event, and proud for what we're going to achieve in the future.
It is a special event, being a 50th anniversary. And this partnership is a very important partnership to us and the work that we do together. Europe matters to this world. Europe matters to IBM. And like many of you, we have been investing here in Europe since 1925. And in fact, today, Europe represents 1/3 of our business. It is a significant population that we have that works here. And we've made significant investments in research and development all across the EU. I would be saying an understatement if I didn't say we live in the most interesting of times right now. And I think this is why the AmCham EU matters quite a bit and is vital, perhaps more than ever, in representing American companies. And I know that you work tirelessly to create what I think is a very important thing. It is a robust, growth-oriented business culture. Earlier this week, there was the landmark EU-US trade negotiations, the free trade negotiations began. I think this is singularly a wonderful opportunity to develop even greater economic ties. And in fact, we'd like to see an agreement that also supports today's digitally integrated businesses. And therefore, it means an agreement that would include balanced, I'll reiterate, balanced data protections, cybersecurity, and very responsible embrace of things like cloud computing. And to me, this is essential. It's essential to Europe's growth. It's essential to innovation here and competitiveness. So we at IBM we're deeply grateful to the European institutions and the American Chamber for their work to create what is absolutely responsible, progressive approaches to unlock what is indeed the potential of this new global era. I am absolutely convinced of the interdependency of both American business and European growth. And with that, we look forward to continuing to build a strong partnership, both with this organization and across all of us together. Thank you.
I'm very pleased and honored to introduce a leader who has demonstrated time after time that he's working very hard to pursue the objectives to which AmCham EU also aspires to. He will become for sure part of EU history. He's the first full-time president of the European Council. We are very proud of Herman Van Rompuy because he has demonstrated exceptional leadership skills in mature democracies. Leadership skills which consist in consensus building and building compromises. And skills that Belgians excel at, but at which Herman Van Rompuy is a master. So I will give him the floor, but before that I would like to dedicate a short poem to our president. It is very short, don't worry. So I'm not going to sing to the president that somebody else did 50 years ago. So, Mr. President, people united to build their prosperity out of many, one. Ladies and gentlemen, Herman Van Rompuy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States and Europe, quite a long history. A history of long-standing friendship dating back to Benjamin Franklin, Condorcet, Thomas Jefferson, and Lafayette. As in every long-lasting relationship, this friendship doesn't imply that we always see eye to eye on every issue. Still, our unique relationship allows us, Americans and Europeans, to work steadily together to preserve and defend our interests and our values in the world. Values like democracy, freedom, dignity of each and every person. And this even if the organization of our societies somewhat differs. The role of the public sector and social security are, for instance, different. Our common values, our common interests, our multiple dialogues all help create a sturdy basis for a strong transatlantic relationship. Let us indeed never forget that together we account for about half of the entire world GDP and for nearly a third of world trade flows. The United States and the European Union share the largest, most integrated trade relationship in the world. What is really at stake, ladies and gentlemen, is to enshrine Europe's and America's role as world standard setters, beyond product specifications, by setting out a positive force in shaping the way we work and the way we live our daily lives. Ladies and gentlemen, the Atlantic is not the past. The Atlantic is also the future. Support for trade is support for the economy, for growth and employment. And as you know, European leaders 2 weeks ago set out to tackle two urgent issues: youth unemployment and promoting investment. We have a long-term strategy, and precisely because of that, we also need actions for the short term. We cannot wait for the completion of the banking union to combat financial fragmentation and credit crunches for our small and medium-sized enterprises. We cannot wait for a return of growth. We must act now and see immediate results, especially for young people. In this context, I would like to congratulate AmCham EU for taking initiatives to honor youth entrepreneurship. Confidence, credit, and competitiveness, 3 C's. Those are the factors we should build on to boost our economy. The next overarching priority should therefore be to set up a European innovation ecosystem. We need a long-term commitment for innovation, and I will work in the coming months to push forward this agenda. It's also essential to take a wider, more integrated view, making sure that all our instruments and incentives work together to encourage investment and support entrepreneurship, to allow new ideas to grow into new companies or to help existing companies grow further. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for the future will also be a central theme of the December European Council, devoted to defense matters. A council in which I expect to make concrete progress also in enhancing the development of our defense capabilities by setting the priorities for future investment and equipment procurement and developing a more integrated, innovative and competitive European defense technological and industrial base. I know that AmCham is by essence driven also by this philosophy. And I wish again to congratulate you, both your staff and your 147 active member companies, for demonstrating your ongoing commitment to make Europe stronger and more competitive. Your choice for Europe is the right one. I thank you for your attention.